It's going to be a free kick. Pal, it looks like, is the guilty party on this occasion. That was the back end of the sequence. Set piece opportunity here. There's free headers in the middle. Whistle goes, and it's going to be a free kick because the offside flag is up. Those are opportunities for his team to try to put a shot on target, not able to do so. And Suriname again trying to catch out St. Vincent the Grenadines. They may very well do so, but Christopher makes the stop. Feint appeals for a penalty. St. Vincent and the Grenadines get on with it. And then a free kick will go the way of the visitors just past the halfway line after good work from the captain, DL Spring, for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, we talked about it earlier, 5 teams in this Group F. It's a very packed group. Anguilla, Puerto Rico, and El Salvador are the other 3 teams fighting for one of those top 2 spots. It's a chance during this window, group stage play, to really get yourself off on the right foot in these CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. Uvesen played with fire a bit in his own penalty area, lives to tell about it. One more hesitation there, and Suriname could have been in some big trouble. He's had a few moments of indecision, the Suriname goalkeeper, in these opening 30 minutes. Now then, Alexander. Marshall on the near side, beaten to it by Becker. Becker plays it back across, and it's in! St. Vincent and the Grenadines pounce on another Suriname mistake. It's their talisman, Olex Anderson, who gives them the lead in Paramaribo. What a moment for the visitors. And Olex Anderson gives St. Vincent and the Grenadines a 1-0 lead. Stunned silence at the Asset Stadion. Every time that St. Vincent and the Grenadines need a moment, Olex Anderson seems to provide it. He's done it again in these World Cup qualifiers. And it's the underdogs who have the advantage. Now, the tough part about this from a Suriname point of view is Becker does so well initially, but then placed it in no man's land. Vason didn't react quickly enough. Olex Anderson certainly did, and takes the big chance. You could sense the momentum shifting towards St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and they've made the most of it. We talked about it. Now, Suriname's early pressure, they didn't capitalize on it in order to score a goal. Long way to go in this game, mind you, but it has come back to bite them in this first half. It's a slip. It's going to be a free kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's going to be, I believe, a deliberate handball here against Leo Albena. He's booked for that because he tried to stop the play with his arm after slipping. And it's going to be a free kick. You can see here he puts his arms around the ball looking for a free kick when he had slipped. great job by the referee on the scene there to differentiate that. Free kick, yellow card for Abena, and potentially another chance here for St. Vincent the Grenadines. It's going to be played short by Bergen. Bent into the penalty area towards Anderson, but doesn't get to him as Vason collects out of the air. Ball's played up ahead. Hilterman was free initially. Went over the top of him. That's a challenge that comes in from Pal. Free kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines once more. Now, we talked about it the last time these two met on this stage. St. Vincent and the Grenadines got the upper hand, a win and a draw during 1994 World Cup qualifying. They have the lead in the rematch. We'll see if Suriname can pick themselves back up off the floor. In a qualifying campaign, there's going to be ebbs and flows. There's going to be moments where teams need to stand up and be counted. It feels like Suriname are facing one of those moments here. That ball is speared out to the far side. A push and a chase inside the penalty area. Well dealt with in the end. High Dyke steal. He's going to win a free kick, and Suriname get on with it. Ball is bent down the far side. Ricochets out for a throw. Looking for Girano Kirk. Ten minutes left in the half. Not the best of challenges there from Sherwood Alexander. Free kick for Suriname. Denswell for Becker, gave the ball away to Olex Anderson. Was able to give St. Vincent and the Grenadines the lead about 5 minutes of game time ago. That's where we stand at the moment in this Group F opener, round 2 of World Cup qualifying in CONCACAF. Play for another throw for Kirk and company. Play is stopped because there's a second ball that's bounced onto the pitch. Referee is rightly also talking to Najima Burgett, who was trying to time waste there. Oh, challenge! It's going to be a penalty. It's inside the 18-yard box. And Suriname have a chance to reply towards the end of the first half from the penalty spot. Farai Emmanuel brought down inside the 18-yard box. We get a second look. Orion Velox, frankly, didn't need to make the challenge. He had cover behind him, and the referee immediately points to the spot. Another one of those that was sort of on the line, if you will. Referee had a good look at it. And really the big point in that sequence is that, again, St. Vincent and the Grenadines fell asleep on a set piece, this time from a throw. And how fitting is it that the man who gave away the goal at the other end, Geraldo Becker, will get a chance to make amends from the penalty spot here for Suriname. Lemus Christopher is the man he has to beat. Stanley Menzo can barely watch. A huge, huge kick of the ball upcoming. Geraldo Becker, who plays his club soccer for Union Berlin, dispatches the penalty with ease. Becker conquers the pressure moment and makes amends for his earlier mistake. Suriname are level in Paramaribo. It's 1-1. It takes a lot of courage to step up in a moment like that for your country after making an error. Geraldo Becker conquers the moment, and Suriname are back on terms. And now they have to back things up a bit. St. Vincent the Grenadines looking to respond themselves, and Anderson is upended. It's a free kick for St. Vincent the Grenadines. Back and forth we go in this seesaw first half. And now it's Theon Gordon's turn to have a wry smile. Well, certainly it's been entertaining for the neutral, but it's been putting both sets of supporters through the ringer. Four in the wall for Suriname. It's going to be struck on frame, at least towards the frame. Looked good initially when it was struck. And Kajina Joseph, but it goes wide of the target. That'll take us down to the final 5 minutes plus stoppage time of the half. 2 goals in the game, coming about 8 minutes between each other. Now then, Spring up the other end, needs a good touch here inside the penalty area. It's Pierre who passes it across, and this time Suriname have it covered. And this time Becker is able to clear a tight position. Now then, pushing a chase to the edge of the penalty area. It's cleaned up, and Suriname look to break up the other end. Becker bends it onto the far side, and it nearly was placed perfectly for Geraldo Kirk, but he got there second. Battle continues for possession on the far side. It's a throw-in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now there's the penalty. Becker holds his nerve. Suriname have more work to do here. They concede a corner. Also, just to note, you can just see the relief on Stanley Menzo's face as he applauded Becker for taking advantage and, of course, meeting the moment. Every moment like that in a World Cup qualifying campaign could be critical. St. Vincent the Grenadines look to respond. Spring will send in the corner. It's at the near post. Miscommunication, frankly, between Vason and Hilterman. Hilterman heads it out, and it'll be another corner. a second try for Spring. He'll look to change the angle. Second opportunity came up short, and then the ball is sent backwards. Gives Suriname a chance to break out of their own penalty area. It's a good follow-up challenge as well by Haps to keep it on this near side. Moments like that can stifle a bit of momentum. Now Theon Gordon almost to just calm his side down. Says take a beat. Slow it down just a tad. And just maybe regather a little bit from a mental perspective. There's been a lot of talking points from this first half. A lot has happened. This one's going to bounce in behind. Hilterman's pressure forces the Francis clearance, and it's a Suriname throw. As we get down to the final moments of the first half. Denswell plays it centrally. Chance to maybe maraud forward a little bit here for Suriname. And the ball is bent into the penalty area. You can see the give and go. That's what they were trying to accomplish on that far side, but the pass from Kirk was off target. Marshall. Will one of these two teams have a chance to take a lead into the break? Ball is bent up ahead, looking for Anderson. Couldn't get it to him. But Suriname concede possession again, only to win a free kick as they followed up. That'll take us into 3 added minutes at the end of what's been a tremendously entertaining and competitive first half, as we expected. Both of these teams want to grab that match day 1 momentum. Here's the challenge that came in from Bergen. It was a bit tardy. Second time Emmanuel's won a big challenge. First, of course, was the challenge that led to Suriname's penalty conversion from Becker. Beeson sends it upfield. Suriname have felt if they could just get long balls over the top, they'll be able to make some things happen. It hasn't really paid off for them yet. Lonwijk's header. And then Hilterman, maybe a little nudge, gives away a free kick. And then there was a little bit of head contact there. Douglas, I think, headed the shoulder of Hilterman. We saw it. I don't think the referee did. Or he may have gone over to address the two players. Tough to tell if Douglas meant to do that, but he certainly didn't apologize for it. Still time for one more big chance at the end of the half. Emmanuel looks to catch up to this for Suriname. He plays it in the middle, and Hilterman heads it home! Suriname have turned it around in first half stoppage time. Jaretti Hilterman's header gives Suriname a 2-1 lead. Now it's the man who won the penalty earlier in the half, puts it on a platter for Hilterman inside the 6-yard box. Nobody marks him. And there's no question about what's happening next. Hilterman celebrates with his head coach Stanley Menzo. And the lead that St. Vincent the Grenadines enjoyed just past the half an hour mark has turned into a deficit. The Esed Stadion here in Paramaribo absolutely erupted after Hilterman headed it in. And there still might be time for one more attack as St. Vincent the Grenadines gave it right back off the kickoff. And it's going to be a corner instead. St. Vincent the Grenadines realized there wasn't a lot of time left. They just tried to run it up the field. Suriname were ready for it, and they win a corner kick right back up at this end. St. Vincent the Grenadines all of a sudden have to be very, very cautious here. Emmanuel looked for a better angle, and the referee is not going to give them enough time to continue the sequence. And that will end the half. What a half we had here in Paramaribo. St. Vincent the Grenadines were in control after a bright Suriname start. But what a recovery from Stanley Menzo's group. Goals from Becker on the penalty spot and Hilterman in first half stoppage time to complete a Suriname turnaround. Still a big 45 minutes to go, but for the neutral, it was an enthralling first half to say the least. At the half in Paramaribo, it's Suriname 2, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1.
Do you have a passion for sport? Then Sports Highlights is a place to be. Share the passion every Sunday and Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m. Sports from the heart, only on Sports Highlights.
This moment is all that I've been dreaming of.
Well, focus. Join the vibes for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup in the Party Stand. Enjoy live performances by top artists, the hottest DJs, and so much more. Get your tickets today from Korea City Store, Kingstown. ICC Men's T20 World Cup, the vibes in the Party Stand. It's going to be out of this world. Get your tickets now.
CK Graves and Company is the number one supermarket, 100% Concession supermarket. We've got more of what you're looking for in multiple locations to serve you more and more. In business now for over 50 years, and you will always save by shopping right here. Oh yes, we're number one. CK Graves and Company, and we are Vincent Johns, a supermarket for you and me.
Looking for sporting gear for all sports? Well, there's only one place to shop. ComSport. ComSport supplies gear for cricket, soccer, netball, table and lawn tennis, track and field, and more. ComSport provides brand name soccer shoes, socks, shin guards, balls, slippers, goalkeeper gloves, and many more accessories. Plus uniforms, complete with tops, shorts, socks, and numbers. Also in stock, cricket gear, balls, pads, shoes with spikes, batting gloves, netball shoes, balls, and bibs. And to top it off, ComSport has introduced a new line of trophies for all events. It's located in the Computech building on the second floor, opposite the financial complex on Bay Street, Kingstown. For more information, call 456-2691. That's 456-2691. ComSport.
St. Vincent Containers proudly introduces its high-quality bathroom tissue. Furtis, Lily's, Midushi.
Manufactured to conform to local, CARICOM and international standards. Tested and certified by the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Bureau of Standards. No roll less than 300 sheets. Legitimate sheet and core sizes. Virgin pulp, no recycled. Soft but not lightweight. Professionally produced and packaged. Now available throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Vertis, Lilies, Mitushi. Excellent Vincentian products.
Instacash, giving you the chance to win more money from the National Lotteries Authority. Get our new $2 game, Money Tree. Match at least 4 symbols and win cash up to $3,000. There's also 5 times the cash for $2, 10 times the cash for $3, and 20 times the cash for only $5, offering you up to $10,000. Win instantly with Instacash, where there's no waiting for a draw. Instacash, fast, so easy to play.
The public is asked to note that chiropractor Dr. Edmund Seeley is now conducting clinic and will see patients by appointments only. To make an appointment, call 456-9318 or 531-5318.
5:54 is the time. You're listening to the game right here live on the Nice coming out of Suriname, Paramaribo. Where now Suriname has overtaken St. Vincent. St. Vincent scored first, had 2 chances. Suriname had about 4 chances. And they, 3 chances. They make good with 1, but the penalty, even the commentator was saying he don't think it was. And I don't think it was a bad play either. But it's in the box and the referee says it's a penalty. But also the goal that was scored was a bit careless. No one was marking the man in the center for the cross. And so Suriname is 2-1 against St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right, coming to the end of the first half. We await the second half. And you're listening to Nice Radio. You know we love sports. We have sports highlights later on this evening. Then Calypso 10. Later, that's how we're going to program. So CONCACAF qualifiers road to 2026. Halftime. What you're hearing there in the background is the CONCACAF, the FIFA's anthem playing in the back there. But in the meantime, what we're going to do is give a little bit of our soca music. Skinny Fabulous. And that's it.
Now Facebook, yeah, I'm a poker. Yeah, now Facebook, yeah, I'm a poker. Watching with a little bit of power soaker. Off the school, yeah, I'm a joker. Now Facebook, yeah, I'm a poker. Yeah, now Facebook, yeah, I'm a poker. What kind of drunk is drunk, you're drunken. What kind of jump is jump, you're jumping. What kind of smoke is smoke, you're smoking. What kind of dab is dab, you're dabbing. We just flash out things. We just flash out things. We just pack up things. Turn over and pack up things. Start bread and barricade. Start shove up on the stage. Start water away the face. Start body found again. Start fire in the rain. 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 Cynically, lyrically, hard, never kill nobody. The man came, she tried the third body. Yeah, I'll bleed. No much backy. Sucking the shaggy, sucking the acky. Nucleus and boom boom in the body. 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 Start bread and barricades.
You're listening to Skinny Fabulous and That's it. It's called Start. Like you press the start button. But we are bringing live football coming out of Suriname. St. Vincent versus Suriname. Suriname 2-1 in the first half against St. Vincent. One was a penalty. They got St. Vincent playing pretty well, I must say, though. But, you know, that's how it is. You have to have the stamina. And especially for soca music, you have to have the stamina. Skinny Fabulous. And we have sports highlights tonight, right here in the Nice, in about an hour's time. So you got to start. So Skinny Fabulous and Datsy say you got to start. What Fireman say? He got a headache. He got headache. You getting headache, huh? All right.
I eat a bundle. I disabundum. I eat a bundle. I disabundum. Hey, and me I give them problems. And that a bundle. And me I give them problems. And that a bundle. One man me hand it a bundle. Rum in me hand it a bundle. Shoes that me wear it a bundle. The blessings me have it a bundle. Car that me drive it a bundle. Places me go it a bundle. Clothes that me wear it a bundle. Blessings me have it a bundle. Headache when I pass. I just giving them headache. Let them talk. I just giving them headache when I pass. I just giving them headache. Let them talk. It's like I'm trending. Oh Lord, the way they calling up my name. Hey, it's like I'm trending. Oh Lord, the people them no have no shame. Oh, shame. Who give them authority? Who tell them to study me? I just work for my money. I don't study nobody. If I bend and tie me shoe, watching everything I do. A woman say hi to me. It's problem for somebody. When I pass, I just giving them headache. Let them talk. I just giving them headache. When I pass, I just giving them headache. Let them talk. Watch one me hand it a bundle. Rum in me hand it a bundle. Shoes that me wear it a bundle. The blessings me have it a bundle. Car that me drive it a bundle. Places me go it a bundle. Clothes that me wear it a bundle. Blessings me have it a bundle. And me I give them problems. And that a bundle. And me I give them problems. And that a bundle. Tell them to respect my space. I don't talk and rest my case. Me and them is in no race. They can't talk in front my face. Who give them authority? Who tell them to study me? I just work for my money. I don't study nobody. When I pass, I just giving them headache. Let them talk. I just giving them headache.
That's a man, Fireman Hooper. He's saying giving them headache. Now we leave him in the background. Soon we go back with the live coverage from Suriname, from the CONCACAF. Listen to Nice Radio. We are going back to the stadium in Paramaribo, and we're gonna bring you some music until Garo until.
Yo, Rajiv. G to the E to the on him. Baby, if your man on you, on him with me, hey, on him with me, wow, on him with me, baby. If your man on you, on him with me, hey, on him with me, wow, on him with me. When he acting up, on, he's doing too much, on. Wait until he gone, on. Wait until he gone, on. I'm moving in like a storm, on. Tell your man to keep calm, on. Once you walk in 9 to 5, is me till the break of dawn. Don't make no man come out and say they hand you. And if they want give you, but then you could hand so. Don't make nobody come out and say they hand you. And if they want give you, but then you could hand. Baby, if your man horn you, on him with me, hey, on him with me, wow, on him with me, baby. If your man horn you, on him with me, hey, on him with me, wow, on him with me. When he acting up, horn, he doing too much, horn. Wait until he gone, horn. Wait until he gone, horn. Moving in like a storm, horn. Tell your man to keep calm, horn. Once you working 9 to 5 is me till the break of dawn. Plenty on in the kitchen, tell him that you don't miss him. Leave him over there tripping, while I over here. Man, this dog woman wicked. Plenty position switching. Bend right down the baby, bend right down the. Hey, I know. Hey, girl, we gon' make him sick. Hey, girl, we gon' give him legs. Bend over and. Hey, no faithfulness. If your man horn you, on him with me. Hey, on him with me. Wow, on him with me, baby. If your man horn you, on him with me. Hey, on him with me. Wow, on him with me. When he acting up, horn, he doing too much, horn. Wait until he gone, horn. Wait until he gone, horn. I'm moving in like a storm, horn. Tell your man to keep calm, horn. Once you working 9 to 5 is me till the break of dawn. G to the E to the. On him, on him, on him, on him, on him, on him, on him.
Ready for the road, ready for the road, ready for the road. The roaming on me head, the roaming on me head, the roaming on me head. Lord, I'm in a zone, mama, oh, mama, oh, mama. I'm in a zone, mama, oh, mama, oh, mama. I'm feeling good, mama, oh, mama, oh, mama. I'm feeling good, mama, oh, mama, oh, mama. He's a man, girl, we beating all day, all day. He's a man, girl, we beating all day, all day. He's a man, girl, we beating all day, all day. He's a man, girl, Roman girl. Strong Roman company, you know me don't tarry. This is a long party.
Second half begins here in Suriname. Match day 1 here in Group F, the CONCACAF second round of World Cup qualifying on the road to the 2026 FIFA World Cup in the US, Canada, and Mexico. Game really ebbed and flowed in that first half. Could be more of the same in the second half as Kirk gets into the penalty area for Suriname, plays it across, and just like that, it's 3-1. Justin Longwhite forces it in. And Suriname pick up right where they left off at the end of the first half. They scored in first half stoppage time. They scored within the first 60 seconds of the second half. Great run here by Gerardo Kirk. Into the middle it goes, and it is touched in by Justin Longwhite. Suriname's lead is doubled. It's 3-1 to the hosts. And Longwhite delivers a huge blow to St. Vincent the Grenadines inside of a second half minute. Well, it was Suriname who had the long faces after a half an hour. At one point, the crowd was stunned into silence by Olex Anderson. It's a much more cheerful mood now. And now St. Vincent the Grenadines have to pick themselves up off the ground. Well, how quickly things can change in a group stage cup tie. Well, they say the best times to score are on either side of halftime. It's exactly what Suriname have done here tonight. It's one of those things that could just carry over momentum. And after a halftime team talk from Theon Gordon at 2-1, that deficit has just been doubled. Suriname, from their point of view, are back on schedule, and they might be able to add on here. As Christopher played with a little bit of fire there on the edge of the penalty area, reads it well in the end, and gets St. Vincent and the Grenadines a refresh of possession. The one thing we can officially say now after that goal from Lawnwyke is it's the most goals ever scored in a World Cup qualifier between these two. 2-1 to St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the 94 World Cup qualifying campaign. Was the previous high in goals scored. Suriname can keep this up in the second half. It will be their first ever win over St. Vincent and the Grenadines in a World Cup qualifier. Again, we can't reiterate this enough. Considering how difficult this group is with Puerto Rico, Anguilla, and of course El Salvador amongst it in Group F, tonight was always going to be paramount for both teams. With that pressure, Suriname have been able to respond after being a goal down. They are now in a comfortable position, at least for now. I should mention, St. Vincent and the Grenadines certainly capable of making a comeback themselves, but 2-1 is quickly turned into 3-1. And that's where you get into a dangerous territory if you're the visitors. Couple of players warming up for Suriname as Kenneth Pal was a bit slow to get up, but looks to be okay for now. Of course, we talked about in the first half as well how Stanley Menzo, the Suriname coach, was going through the emotions. Well, it's Theon Gordon's turn now for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Both of these two countries certainly feel that they're right in the midst of things in this group. Only one of them is going to leave with something tonight if it stays like this. As we saw in that 15 to 20 minute period midway through the first half, St. Vincent and the Grenadines are certainly capable of causing Suriname problems. But on the road, can they pick themselves back up? That's going to be the big question mark moving forward. Certainly when they put pressure on Suriname, they were able to make some things happen, including, of course, getting their lone goal of the match to this point. Of course, St. Vincent and the Grenadines in their history, runners-up the 1995 Caribbean Cup, competition that Suriname has won in their history. You have to go back to 1978. They were runners-up the following year. Of course, both teams have made contributions in the Gold Cup in their history. St. Vincent and the Grenadines made the group stage back in '96. This ball is going to stay in play. Hilterman's in the middle. It's going to come out for a chance. It pinballs around. And it goes back out of play for a goal kick as Lawnwyke was arriving to try to make it a brace. May have gotten the worst of it off the ricochet. Look, great job to keep this in initially. Lawnwyke arrives and it actually pinballs back off of his head. And goes out of play. I wonder if that's a cue for Joseph Dickerson. Yes, it is, to allow the medical staff to come on and have a look for a possible head injury. Justin Lawnwyke, the most recent goal scorer in this Group F fixture. One thing that's for sure is that this crowd has given us a tremendous soundtrack and atmosphere so far tonight. One that he won't be too happy about, Theon Gordon. I still love the way his team has played at times tonight, but it has unraveled a bit at the end of the first half. And very, very beginning of the second half. But there's time left for things to change for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The ball is sent down this near side. Burgeon was the target. It's out of play. The second ball has rolled onto the pitch. We had a stoppage for that earlier. It's not involved, I should say, in the play. So at least for the time being, we will continue on. Basin clears it upfield. He'll be headed out for a Suriname throw. And we're going to have this window of multiple match days into the middle of June. Interesting to see where these teams stand at that point. And then, of course, we'll reconvene in 2025 for further World Cup qualifiers. The final round of qualifying, which will feature 12 teams, will take place between September and November of 2025. And, of course, after that, we will know who will go through, the 3 teams that will clinch a berth to the FIFA World Cup in 2026, and the 2 that will have to settle for the playoffs. Of course, there's a long way to go until we get to that. Here's Francis. Up ahead to try to find Spring. That's going to be a free kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Put them in a position to try to create something from a set piece. Another look, Spring bundled into. I think Suriname was saying that he couldn't get back to the ball. I think DL Spring would tell you that he was impeded trying to get back to the ball, despite a loose touch. Can the visitors find a route back? This is going to be a shot. And it's palmed over the top by Vason, out for a corner. Now, Etienne Vason's had a few adventures, let's say, inside the penalty area already tonight. And out of the penalty area, frankly. They tested him, and he concedes a corner. Ball is bent in. DL Spring is closest to it. He's going to let it run. It'll be a throw-in for the visitors here. Can Najima Burgeon find somebody? He can. He's going to get it back on a return. He is closed down. Was he clipped? The answer is no. And it is going to go Suriname's way. Another look here. Well, there was a little bit of contact, but not enough. Looked to be more of an embellishment, I think, than anything else. Geraldo Becker, maybe he's had the biggest moment of the evening so far, converting that penalty. It was won by Farai Emmanuel. That really changed everything. That penalty was converted, as you can see there, 39th minute. By Becker, that tied the game. Goals from Hilterman and Lonwijk have seen Suriname build a 3-1 lead. Like Steele is forced back. This is where St. Vincent and the Grenadines were able to make something happen in the first half when they were able to put pressure on Suriname. They had some big moments. Nearly another one there. Almost played up the other end. Francis on the cover. He follows up. And then it gets a little testy. Francis, who followed up and looked to have won St. Vincent the Grenadines a throw-in, continued the conversation. It did get a little bit chippy at the end of the first half. Well, cooler heads always prevail. In these situations, both teams have to hold their nerve a bit. Don't want to force the referee's hand and really change the potential outcome of a match like this, where it still is up for grabs at 3-1. Here's what happened. Well, to be fair to Francis, he did not initiate this. This is all Geraldo Becker. Francis didn't necessarily have to engage after that, but Becker's the one that started the whole thing. Nothing had taken place before that. And it doesn't look like any punishment is going to be handed out. Sherwin Alexander, though, is holding his face here. Might have been poked in the eye. At least that was the initial indication. Having a word about it with Joseph Dickerson, our head official. And again, doesn't look like any cards were handed out. So we will restart the Suriname throw. And the hosts in possession as we approach the hour mark. And it feels like that if St. Vincent, the Grenadines are going to get back into it, they've got to turn up the heat again with the pressure. Another moment where Suriname nearly play themselves into big-time trouble. And they still might. It's played up ahead. Anderson holds it up. Anderson scored earlier, but he's dispossessed here. Again, we're starting to see anytime St. Vincent and the Grenadines start to collapse on Suriname at the back, they are forcing errors almost every time. Suriname this time are able to get into the final third with Kirk. Emmanuel got an assist earlier. Trying to find Longwike this time. The ball did just go over the line, it looks like. I think this has been given as a goal kick. Or has it? No, I beg your pardon. It's still with Suriname. It's a throw. Referee pointed for a goal kick initially. Or at least pointed in that direction. This one is speared into the middle. Headed by Burgeon. Headed back towards Kirk. Burgeon's there again. Kirk follows up. And Spring comes out with it. Emmanuel's challenge to follow up. Sees the visitors get a throw. Theon Gordon has clearly told his guys, go back to what was working in the first half. Nearly yielded not one, but two big opportunities. There's going to be a push here against Kanisha Joseph. That'll be a free kick for Suriname, who are about to make a couple of changes, it looks like. That is going to be that for Leo Abena. He is replaced by Shaquille Pinas. And that's going to be it for Kirk as well. Gerardo Kirk is taken out. And Jaden Montnor is going to replace him. Those are the first two substitutions of the evening. And we talked about why St. Vincent and the Grenadines may have had that slow start at the very beginning of the match. Theon Gordon had to replace Kyle Edwards as a late scratch from the starting 11, put in Stephen Pierre. That could have been what led to Suriname being on top early, but St. Vincent and the Grenadines battled their way back. They got the lead, and for about 7-8 minutes, looked like they were capable of adding on to that lead until Suriname won a penalty. They converted the penalty, and the hosts have been in control ever since. It's a push from Spring away from the ball that gives Suriname a free kick. And only the group winners and the runners-up advance each of these CONCACAF World Cup qualifying groups. So 3 points tonight could be critical. Great ball across here. Not the best of touches as Montenor nearly picked somebody out. A better first touch, and that could have provided a massive Suriname chance. About the success Suriname had in their World Cup qualifiers for Qatar, especially here in Paramaribo. They really shined. If the result holds, they'll pick up their third straight win at home in CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. In those last two home matches, Suriname scored 9 goals and kept a clean sheet. That was in the first round of Group B. They defeated the Cayman Islands and Bermuda as well. Bermuda actually just got a result earlier tonight. A 1-1 draw at Antigua and Barbuda. Great result for them. These road matches in particular, if you can get something from them, of course, coupling that with taking care of business at home could put you in really good shape. That's why St. Vincent and the Grenadines will feel that these last 25 minutes could be critical for them if they can get a goal back. Suriname want to finish the job. Montenor's in space. He plays it across, but it's behind, well, 2 players who were arriving. Hilterman. Looked like Lonwijk as well, the 2 goal scorers. Were trying to get on the end of it. They'd already run past it. Emmanuel will try. Play it centrally. Hilterman had a chance to run onto it. It was Lonwijk who just slithered the ball through. Lemus Christopher reacts first for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Lovely ball up ahead. Lonwijk for Becker. Becker looks for the cross. Hilterman is in the middle. Montenor volleys it! And he volleys it wide of the target. Would have been a tremendous introduction. Jaden Montenor's made an impact since coming on already. He nearly put himself on the score sheet. That will cue some changes for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Ryan Velox is going to be the first to come off. We're going to see Courtney Franklin come on. Looks like Stephen Pierre, who was the late change to become a starter, he is off as well. And Saviola Blake is going to replace him. Courtney Franklin in particular is definitely an attacking change for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We'll be seeing him. Green, number 16, will be trying to make some of those similar runs that old Anderson's been making all night. And right on cue, Anderson involved there, wins a free kick. Follow through there when Manuel clearly didn't mean to, but he also clearly made contact. Oh, that was a chance from Franklin. Burgeon back into the middle. Anderson put his boot through it, but the angle was against him and he blasted out of play. Theon Gordon's back up off the cooler, sensing another potential wave of attacks for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is so similar, I should say, to how the first half went, only Suriname didn't score that early. This be a chance for St. Vincent and the Grenadines if they can continue to put some pressure on to possibly, quite possibly, fight themselves back into it again. This time Suriname, however, play their way through, and Montnor's unmarked! Jaden Montnor finishes off the chance. Massive celebrations breaking out in Paramaribo. Suriname extend their lead to 4-1. They've been trying these long balls all night. It finally pays off. St. Vincent and the Grenadines caught out. The substitute slots it in. And it will likely mean that Suriname will place themselves at the very top of Group F. Jaden Montnor, he's the 4th different Suriname goal scorer tonight. We want more, is the cry out from the crowd. They certainly like what they've seen since around the 31st minute. That's going to be a goal kick as St. Vincent and the Grenadines again try to get right back after it. Tristan Marshall runs out of room. It's been Geraldo Becker and the Killer Jays for Suriname. Giretti, Justin, and Jaden have all led the way on the score sheet. Becker from the penalty spot. Hilterman, Longwyke, and Montour all from open play. Might seem like a distant memory now, but remember, Suriname trailed in this game. They might have a chance to extend their lead again. It should be a 5th. Oh, it's off the bar. That would have surely settled it. The aforementioned Geraldo Becker smashes it off the frame. That would have been curtains for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Half the crowd is still trying to catch their breath. They asked for more. They nearly got it immediately. Suriname are getting another substitution ready. Virgil Misijan is getting set to come on. The next possible opportunity, you would think. Here's Burgeon. Bending one into a good area, but nobody was there. 17 minutes left. We're really starting to see some of the frustration from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's tough on the road. When you have a lead and lose it, to come back. And despite some great fight, especially after going 3-1 down, saw the pressure go back up, and Suriname looked uncomfortable. It's unraveled again, and it could get worse with Emmanuel playing it across. Nobody there for Suriname. St. Vincent, the Grenadines look to go up the other end. Anderson, the outlet, couldn't catch up to it. It's actually going to be 2 changes for Suriname here. It's going to be the end of the night for Justin Longwhite, one of the goal scorers. I beg your pardon. It's going to be the man who's been setting up the assists tonight. Emmanuel. Oh, it's actually going to be both. How about that? Longwhite and Emmanuel are both going to make way. One of the Robin Hood players, Rensky Adipi, is going to come on, along with the aforementioned Misijan. Great impact from Emmanuel and Longwhite tonight. There's no question about that. Longwhite got one of the goals. Emmanuel won a penalty that led to the Becker equalizer, and then got the assist on the Hilterman goal that gave Suriname their first lead of the night in first half stoppage time. DP was on the SV Robin Hood team, the current CONCACAF Caribbean Cup champions. Sijan's certainly been part of the setup as well here. The Suriname group to help get his nation through the last 15 minutes and change. Hilterman is targeted again. Well dealt with by Douglas, who's had a good night for the visitors defensively. Allows Christopher to reset for the visitors, who are 3 down and starting to run short on time here. Oh, that's one back. Franklin! Oh, it's palmed over the top by Vason. That's his biggest contribution of the night. Again, Suriname not able to cope with the pressure when they play out of the back, and they're nearly punished by Courtney Franklin. It took a deflection, and Etienne Vason makes his biggest stop of the evening. It nearly snuck in under the bar. Give credit to the visitors here. They are not going to go down without a fight. DL Spring from the corner. He bends one in. Mason was able to just get enough on that. And then the ball rolls out of play. It's going to be another corner after it was miscontrolled by Misijan. 13 minutes left. Crazier things have happened. 1 goal from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And things could get a little bit uncomfortable again for Suriname. They've certainly struggled when trying to play out of their own end tonight. It's going to go right at goal. And again, Vason is there. He just touches it over. It'll be another corner, a 3rd try for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Vason was able to just about get enough on the first one, and then that time just thought better of it, pushed it over. As Theon Gordon's side looked for some late hope. Another set piece, and they'll have to take it again. Headed out for a fourth corner. That's what he's hoping. Coach Gordon, one goal can change it. Spring. Put too much on it. And it's going to go out for a throw. Well, match day 2 for Suriname in this group is going to see them go to Anguilla, Raymond Guichard Technical Center in the Valley. St. Vincent the Grenadines actually stay here and play host on match day 2, as this one is bent in just past the arriving Misijan. St. Vincent the Grenadines actually host El Salvador here on Sunday. That's their next match in this group. Certainly does not get easier for either side. Again, it is a loaded Group F. Great run from Adipi. Got some of the fans off their seats here. Nothing came of it. At the other end, St. Vincent and the Grenadines not able to pounce. And Suriname get a refresh of possession. Ten minutes plus stoppage time left. Montnor, the goal scorer. It's played centrally. Sitjan, maybe one too many touches. Keeps the play alive and then gets it back. And then is fouled, impeded by Kevin Francis, who's going to be booked. And it's a Suriname set piece. It's great build-up here from Suriname after it nearly got away from them, and then very clearly Francis has a hand on the hip. Misijan. This is certainly within range for a possible shot on target here. Evis Christopher is going to have to be ready for the visitors here. Confirmation of the Francis yellow. Captain Denswell and the substitute Misijan are the two most likely. It's Misijan. He had the right idea. Did everything but put it on target, really. Had good shape. To be fair to Christopher, however, I think if it was on target, he likely has it covered. Spring over the top. This time, Suriname with the press not as organized for St. Vincent the Grenadines. We'll play through the first wave. Here's a DB. Scored some big goals for Robin Hood here on their journey to the Caribbean Cup title. He gets another chance here. He's just a step too far behind as Christopher beats him to the ball. Like Steele down this near side. Becker fends off the challenge, sends it into the middle, and the referee brings it back, says that Becker did not keep it in play. It's a goal kick. Lead to 2, St. Vincent, the Grenadines swaps. Aaron Jackson and Garrett Ledgerwood. They're both going to come on. Nisha Joseph is the first to come off. And it's Burgeon who also makes way. So Burgeon and Nisha Joseph come off. Jackson and Ledgerwood on. As you can see there, I think it just trickled over the line before Becker could place it into the middle. Both teams have used 4 of their 5 available substitutions as Christopher fends off the challenge. Said earlier, already one result in the books from Group A of CONCACAF World Cup qualification today. Antigua and Barbuda and Bermuda finishing 1-1. A late 90th minute equalizer. Sachiel Ming. Suriname will make that final change. We just talked about it earlier. They had 1 remaining. The goal scorer, Jaretti Hilterman, is going to make way. He gave Suriname their first lead of the night. Certainly a fan favorite around these parts. Another Robin Hood man, Jamilio Richters, will take his place. Well acquainted with the friendly confines of the Aset Stadion. Of course, tonight is still jam-packed with more action from different groups. Curacao and Barbados in Group C will play later on tonight. Guatemala and Dominica as well in Group E. And we'll see Nicaragua against Montserrat, another enthralling fixture, no doubt. Here in Paramaribo, St. Vincent and the Grenadines had a lead at one point in the first half. It lasted for 8 minutes. They haven't led since. And now a yellow card has come out. Looks like that was a point over to the captain, Stefano Denswell. We'll await confirmation on that. A little bit of time wasting from Suriname. There is the confirmation. The captain has been booked. 4 minutes plus stoppage time left for Suriname to confirm a first win and 3 points in Group F on the road to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. They have some defending to do here. It's crossed into the middle. It went past Vason. Nobody in green could get there, I should say, to touch it. Franklin follows up, but he couldn't find Saviola Blake inside the 18-yard box. Richters bends the ball up ahead. You could see where he was aiming. Couldn't find Jaden Montnor. One's going to get poked through. Anderson second best. Suriname plugging up some of the holes. It must be said, yes, they're up 4-1, but St. Vincent and the Grenadines have exposed an issue for Suriname throughout the night, and that's been their ability to play out of the back. That'll be something that Stanley Menzo and company will have to rectify as this group stage moves along into the weekend. There are teams in this group, not just St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that can certainly take advantage of that. I think for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's just the fact that it hasn't been consistent enough with their pressure at times tonight. And to be fair, they've had a couple of big missed opportunities. But you have to credit Suriname. They did not yield. After giving up the first goal, they came right back, got the equalizer from the penalty spot, and one turned into two at the end of the first half. Two turned into three at the beginning of the second half. And then four shortly followed after that. One last change for Theon Gordon. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The captain, DL Spring, is off. Adding Charles is going to replace him in the 90th minute. Here's Richters for Suriname. Lovely close control. Plays it across. Becker is held up. And then he crossed it, or a little pass, I should say, from Montnor, and Montnor skies it. Well, it was clever initially there from Geraldo Becker, but ran out of room, and Montnor did not have enough time to really settle himself. Oh, that's a lovely ball played up ahead. Oh, a challenge possibly inside the penalty area. A few appeals, to say the least, for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Olex Anderson convinced that he was fouled. We get a second look at it. And to be fair, he trips over his own 2 feet. That's not a penalty. At the other end, Christopher is forced to make a stop. But it's going to be a free kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Still a lot happening, despite the game likely beyond a reasonable doubt. The ball's played for Anderson. Anderson into the penalty area again, and he loses his footing. Referee stops the play because Olex Anderson is in some discomfort. That's the last thing Theon Gordon wants at this stage of the game, where it's essentially decided. Got to give credit to Olex Anderson. He's continued to fight and fight and fight on. This crowd, I should say, they wanted to show, they wanted more and more goals as the match went along. They're going to be pretty darn happy in the next 2 minutes. These four added on at the end of the match, and they're confirmed as the winners tonight. And again, would be a bit of history for Suriname. The last time these two met in World Cup qualifying, you have to go back to 1994's World Cup in the U.S. St. Vincent and the Grenadines went unbeaten over those two games. That was a long time ago. Be a little bit of a dose of revenge here. Jamilio Richters runs in behind the defense. Richters across. There was too many green shirts in his way. Full time here in Paramaribo. Suriname celebrations ring out as the hosts win it by 4-1 over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 4 different goal scorers along the way after St. Vincent and the Grenadines briefly led for 8 minutes in the first half. Suriname would quickly equalize after that, and they wouldn't look back from there. 2 goals in the first half, 2 in the second half. Suriname pole vault to the top of Group F after 1 match day for them in the CONCACAF Gold.
Do you have a passion for sport?